Welcome to EURUSD. I haven't been here since last Wednesday with the holiday and all. I just took some time away. We're gonna get right into business. This is 45-minute chart, just trying to show you what we're looking at. If you haven't seen my previous videos, white lines are all that really matter. There's no blue lines right now I have, but essentially white lines and blue lines are major levels that I'm looking for my setups, ideally around those areas. Orange lines are just levels of confluence, profit taking, and a lot of times helps you know that the price is behaving the way you expect it to. So we cut off on Wednesday 2 p.m. ish, and let's go back to that space and go over what's been happening ever since. So Wednesday 2 o'clock ish is right about here, right below this level. On the downside, I was looking for a failed breakdown of this low. On the upside, there wasn't much to work with unless we got a breakout of the bull flag. That would have been this level here at that point exact, actually. You can see how that kind of worked out where we hit that and we've sold since that time frame. During that time on Wednesday, we didn't get much. We got a little bit of a dip in recovery around 6 o'clock that Wednesday. Then overnight, we got a failed breakdown of this low that we had set at 6 o'clock on that bounce, and that worked out pretty good. You could have gone long around 1792, and that went up for almost 18, 19 points. Afterwards, which rest of the morning, going into the holiday session, just kind of chilled, relaxed, and then out of nowhere, we got a nice little sell at 8:30. I believe there was some data drop, and with that said, that set up a couple different things for us, and let's go over them right now. The first thing I would say that set up, excuse me, will be and near exact tag of this level. That none of these levels really have been changed since last Wednesday, so you can see how clearly the levels are pretty consistent and how they do work. That hit that level exactly and bounce. Let's go look at a 5-minute chart real quick just to see how it did react at that level. Excuse me for the craziness here, but you can see that at 8:30 we sold and we hit this directly, and then we just started pushing up. If you wanted to go long, you would have had to been paying attention. You would have acknowledged that this was a near 65-point sell, and maybe even more like around 80 plus points from the Thursday overnight highs. So you're definitely looking for a long at some point there, and you would have just gone long right off the bounce. You would have noticed that we hit it, bounced right up a bunch of points, and you could have kept a long right here and just taken ride that up. Then exactly at 8:50 we got a second opportunity for an entry there. So that's a perfect setup of an exact tag, direct back test. Going back to a 15-minute chart real quick. Give me 1 second here. You can see this level was just very, very congested, and we kind of took off from that area, and we came back to back test it. So that was the easiest setup there. Afterwards, which if you missed that, we have a low right here from Monday around 10:45. You can see this little wick right here. This low was set before going back up and setting the high of July so far. So you can see that price undercut that. So if you missed the direct tag, you could have taken the failed breakdown of this low right here. So those are the two exact setups that I was looking for. Moving forward, if you missed both of those, like I mentioned in the last video, if you go take a look, I said that a failed breakdown of this section, this area right here, would work out great, and that did work out as we reclaimed it and went up to hold levels for an awesome trade. Thereafter, we almost went back and hit this obvious resistance that we have now. We just sold down, kept on selling, and not much happened. Thursday afternoon, eventually after a while, I assumed that there could be possible failed breakdown of this little low right here, since we tried to reclaim it, sold off, and we've just been hanging out there. And that did indeed work out, just because from experience I've seen that a lot of times when price lingers around a failed breakdown area and doesn't sell, that it's probably just building up energy to push forward. We got that Thursday evening, and that just kept on working its way out. Friday morning of the 4th of July, very, very choppy, not much movement. We did get a mini failed breakdown here of these lows if you wanted to take something. Afterwards, which we just kind of hung around that area, and then that takes us into Sunday evening. Not much of happening Sunday evening. We opened up right around the same area, and then slowly started selling until we sold this morning back to the area we um, set up the last long, which was Thursday morning on that direct test of this area. Um, we got back down, but did not get below this low here for the failed breakdown. I noticed that. However, because we had this low right here and this other low right there, I was okay taking a failed breakdown of these lows and also just calling it another back test. And that worked out pretty good. I got my points afterwards, which we sold. And from there, we sold down to this area. This red line represents a low a couple days ago. Notice how we hit it and reclaimed it. And if you go to a 1 minute chart just for educational purposes, just want to show you what that looked like and how I played that. So I noticed that we went below just a little bit here at 12:57 ish. So I started watching the movement. We bounced, we came back below, undercut this low, and then started pushing right back up. I've seen that many times. I noticed that it was a shallow little failed breakdown, so I had to act fast. We did sell a decent amount to get down there, so I was okay taking the risk with the long. I went long right above this high right here. There's no real right answer for this. We got about 6, 7 points, and we started going back down. So I was conscious of this, but then we got another big pop at 130, and that trade worked out pretty good so far. Going back to the 15-minute chart, then afterwards, which we kind of just chilled back, consolidated a little bit, and then got a pop at 230 again. We're just hanging out now, consolidating more. Let's see what we got going on. My first observation would be if we did sell, a failed breakdown of this low along with the low from this red line would be a nice setup. I would love to take that if we can get it. Looking above, this level seems to be a level of resistance now. You can see we sold from there, hit it once to try to get back up, but we couldn't. Now we're getting in that same area again and trying to soften it before we can push through. So I'm looking for a reclaim of this zone for upward progress. I'd love to see a failed breakdown of this low right here. If not, maybe even this one for more immediate longs. And that's all I got right now for Euro USD. Let me know what you think.